Hello and welcome to Tutorialspoint. In this video, we are going to talk about variables in JavaScript. It's one of the most important and fundamental concepts in programming as well as in JavaScript. So let's not waste time and get started with the basic definition of what is a variable. A variable is simply a named storage location in computer memory. Okay. When we create a variable, we are essentially telling the computer to reserve some space in the memory and give it this name so that we can just refer to it or use it later on. Okay, I will show you shortly how to create a variable, but first let's quickly understand the variable and what it really is. Okay, now why we need variables, right? The first thing is data storage. Variables let us store information we need to use later on. Okay, data manipulation. We can perform various operations on the stored data, okay, on these variables. Then we also have dynamic values. Programs can change based on user input or conditions. In that case, we also use variables a lot. And then readability. Variable names helps us understand what the data really is about, what it really represents. Okay. Now these were some of the basic definitions. Now let's talk about the main part. Now the main part here is how to create a variable in JavaScript, right? Now here you can see some code on my screen and I'm just going to click on the demo to show you its output. And if you look at this code, what am I doing? Okay, I can just write this for you again. So let's say I have a name of Tutorialspoint. Okay, so I have a name of Tutorialspoint. Okay, and I am storing it somewhere in my memory so that I can use it later on. So to create a variable in JavaScript, we say var. Okay, so it's a reserved keyword in JavaScript. It's used to create a variable. We say var, which is the short form for variable. Then we say any name we want to name it. For example, var name and its value, which means it is equal to Tutorialspoint, and then we use a semicolon. Okay, so we have just created a variable in JavaScript. The name of the variable is name itself and its value is this Tutorialspoint text, right? I can name it anything. For example, instead of naming name, I can name it var school is equal to Tutorialspoint. This is also valid. In this case, the name of the variable is school and its value is the text Tutorialspoint. Now, if I want to check, I can just simply print it. So console.log school, okay, and semicolon. Now, once I run this code, it's going to output me Tutorialspoint because it's going to go into the memory, check the value of the variable school, and it sees that inside the variable school, the value is Tutorialspoint. So it's going to print Tutorialspoint. So if I click on edit and run, as you can see, it says Tutorialspoint, right? Moving forward, let's go to the next slide. Now let's talk about naming the variables in JavaScript. There are some rules that you need to follow when you are naming your variables in JavaScript. So names can contain letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. Okay. Names must begin with a letter or a dollar or an underscore. The second rule. Third rule is names are case sensitive, which means uppercase letters and the lowercase letters are not same, they are different. Okay, so if you create two variables, if I show you here, if we create two variables, var y is equal to any text, and then I also create a var capital Y is equal to some other text. Okay, so hi. In this case, what is going to happen is they are not same variables. They are two different containers containing two different high values. Okay, so the JavaScript is what? It's a case sensitive language. Keep this thing in mind. Moving on, there are some reserved keywords like JavaScript keywords that cannot be used as names. For example, I'll just go back. If I have another variable, let me just remove this one. I have a variable, let's say hi, which is, I'll just have a good name for it. Let's say greeting is equal to hi everyone. Okay, so this is a greeting variable. If I want to create another variable, I'll say var, and the name of the variable will also be var is equal to hi, for example. This is going to throw me an error. Why is that? Because the var is used to create a variable. So you cannot use var as the name of the variable. It's a reserved keyword in JavaScript. Similarly, there are some reserved keywords that we are going to discuss shortly. Okay, we cannot use them to name our variables. Keep this thing in mind. So if I go back and let's go to the next slide, these are the reserved keywords in JavaScript. We cannot use these keywords to name our variable. Okay, for example, you have abstract, you have delete, function, do, double, else, a lot of things. We are going to talk about what they really mean in JavaScript and why they are reserved. Just right now, you need to understand that you cannot use them for naming your variables, but you can use a mixture of them. For example, you just want to use any of this as your variable name. Maybe you just want to use case as your variable name. Well, you can say case underscore 1. That is a valid variable name. But if you use a keyword just case only, then it's going to throw you an error. It's not valid in JavaScript. Keep this thing always in mind. Moving forward, let's talk about naming the variables. Let's talk about the best practices that the developers do when they write variable names. Okay, use descriptive names that explain what the variable contains, right? So it's not a good thing if you say var a is equal to hello everyone. It should be var greeting is equal to hello everyone. This can make other developers also see that this variable is a greeting variable. It probably has some text or anything in it that is related to greeting someone, right? Then use camel case for multi-word variables. Okay, so it's a good practice, particularly in JavaScript, to use camel case. What do I mean by camel case? We know what a camel looks like, right? So if I draw a little bit quickly so that you can understand this thing. So the camel's shape is something like this: lowercase, uppercase, and lowercase. It has a hump. Okay, I'm not able to draw it fully, but you understand my point. Similarly, in your variable names, for example, I want to create a variable first name. So first name is equal to Mike, for example. You can say something like this: first name is equal to Mike. This is valid, but we should use camel case, which means the first name, it just consists of two words, first and name. Now this doesn't look readable, but if we change its casing, if we make it camel case, then it looks readable. Watch this. Saying first and the name, here the name's n, if I make it uppercase, as you can see, this now looks more readable. So I can say var first name is equal to Mike. Here, as you can see, I start with lower casing and then the word changes, so I use the uppercase. This is called camel casing. Similarly, if I want to write the last name, var last and then name and then whatever we want to write inside here. Okay, so this is what we called as camel casing. Keep this thing in mind. Moving forward, here are some of the examples of good variable names and bad variable names. Now, the good variable names is, for example, var first name is equal to John, camel casing, total price is camel casing, is logged in is it's also camel casing. Now, don't worry about these numbers and what this true is. I'm going to talk about all of this when we learn about data types, so don't worry about them. Now, these are the bad variable names. For example, var x equal to John. It's not descriptive. It should be maybe first name equal to John, or at least it should be name equal to John, right? Then var tp is equal to 99.99. What does this mean? Maybe we can say var percentage is equal to this. That would be more descriptive. And then again, var ilg is equal to true. What does this mean? Instead, we can use something like is present is equal to true. So that indicates that someone is present or someone is absent, right? So this is how you should variably, you should how to create basically variable names. Okay, they should be descriptive. Now here is a quick practice exercise. You can pause the video and think about this. Okay, just tell me which is valid and which is not and what is the reason. So pause the video and try it out yourself. Okay, let's look at the solutions and see if your answers are correct. Don't worry if they are not correct, you should just learn. Okay, moving forward, here are the answers. This user underscore age is valid, but yeah, snake case is less common in JavaScript. This is snake case where you just use what, lower casing, and to separate words you use underscore. But we know in JavaScript, I told you camel case is more preferred, but this is also valid. Just keep this thing in mind. Then we have first place. This is not valid because the rule is that variables cannot start with a number, and here this name starts with a number. Okay. Then we have the third one, let. What is this let? It's not valid because if you have looked carefully in the reserved keyword slide, let is also a reserved keyword, and I'll show you in the coming videos that let is also used to create a variable. Okay, I'll show you in the coming videos. Then we have dollar price. This is also valid because variables can start with a dollar. Then we have username. This is also valid, but again, it's preferred to use camel case. So if this user's u is lowercase, that would be more good for JavaScript especially. Then we have total cost. It's not valid because there is no underscore. This is a hyphen here, and it is totally invalid in JavaScript. Okay, so these were some of the practice cases so that you can understand how to write good variable names. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you and keep learning.